everyone. Is my mic on? Oh, right. Are you here for Property Elevator Live? Now, look, if I don't hear a better reaction like that, than that, we're going to go home. Are you guys here for Property Elevator Live? Yeah! Wow, that's the sort of reaction that we wanted today. Now, if you're standing up, don't stand up, just come down, move right down inside the cars, please, move right down inside the cars. We're going to get started very, very shortly. We're just doing a little bit of setup. Lizzie's going to come on and kind of host the whole thing. It's going to be a bit like who has watched the TV show, Property Elevator? Plenty of you. Anyone who hasn't? Oh, right. So you guys are wondering, what the hell am I doing here? What's this all about? Yeah? Well, it's Dragon's Den for property. 5 angels on here, and people are going to come and pitch for funding for property deals. And these folks can go away with funding, backing for their property projects today. That's what it's all about. It's live. And it will all be unwrapped very, very shortly. So, one of the great things about this event is, well, you're going to have a lovely experience, but there are plenty of people who aren't here and aren't going to benefit from that experience. And what is social media all about if it's not to give people FOMO? So I'm going to do an Instagram live just to tell all the people who aren't here what is going to happen. We're going to have Property Elevator Live. As I said, we're just setting up. We're going to get started in a mo. The last session overran a little bit. So we're going to go live in approximately a couple of minutes. See whether anyone's watching, I guess. Oh, right, we are now live. Hello, everyone. I'm at Billingsgate in London. We're about to do a stage version of Property Elevator Live. Guys, you glad to be here? Make a big noise for everyone on Instagram. Whoa! So you guys are watching this on Instagram, obviously, and you're not here. You're not going to experience this wonderful experience. We've got it all set up just like you see on the telly. Property Elevator Live. We're going to have live pitches from real property entrepreneurs. We haven't got a Scooby-Doo who these guys are. They're going to come here and basically pitch their deals for funding, and us angels are going to review those deals, and who knows, some or all of them may walk away with funding. Are you looking forward to it getting started? Whoa, good, good, good. Okay, so that's it for me. You should have been here, guys. You missed out, but anyway, bye for now. Now, how do I stop that Instagram live? That's it. Right. That's 2 jobs in one. A little bit of crowd control, a little bit of warm-up for the lovely Lizzie who's going to come up on stage shortly, and a little bit of social media FOMO for all the people that are not here today. So if you're standing at the back, grab a seat. It's going to be a lot of fun. You'll get tired feet. You don't really want to stand at the back. Move right down inside. What time are we getting started? Do we know? Okay, so, ladies and gentlemen, I've just been waffling for a few minutes, really, to fill in time. But I want you to put your hands together and give an enormous cheer for Property Elevator's wonderful presenter, Elizabeth Warburton.
Woo! Hello, welcome everybody. It's so nice to see you all in real life. My name is Elizabeth, as Randa very kindly introduced me, and I am the presenter of Property Elevator. So hands up firstly, who's actually seen and watched the show? Okay, basically quite a lot of you. For those who haven't, I'll just give a very quick brief of what the show is about and what we're here with Lizzie when she comes off the stage. So, seasoned property professionals, corporate investors,
I've got the backdrop for Property Summit. Just unzip that one and put the other one on.
All right, good stuff.
For their property deals, but they also get the chance to joint venture with somebody who has a ton of experience in the development and investment world. So our angels are as follows. We have John Howard, Ranjan Bhattacharya, Helen Chorley, Paul Mahoney, and Nicholas Walworth. Unfortunately, Nicholas has actually hurt his back a couple of days ago and is waiting for an operation, so Nick can't be with us today. But we do have Hammond.
We've got the sheets.
Picked today's pictures.
I
So
don't
they're
know.
going in completely blind, no
Where are
idea
the-
what to expect.
Where are the printed sheets?
And I think
Do they,
that's
or
just
do
what
the pictures give them to
from
us?
me. So, if I should bring our first angel up to the stage, please can you all give a very warm welcome to Mr. Paul Mahoney.
Oh, okay, beautiful.
And you, and then Helen, last but not least, same as we would on the...
Oh, the seat order.
Paul, can you give everybody a little brief introduction, tell them who you are and what you do?
Hi everyone, thanks for being here today. As Lizzie very kindly introduced me, my name is Paul Mahoney. I'm the founder and managing director at Nova Financial Group. We're a property investment advisory company, as well as an investor and developer myself.
Oh, thank you, Paul. Okay, next up we have the lovely Ranjan Bhattacharya.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
Not that we're competitive.
My name is Ranjan Bhattacharya. I'm
How do you
founder of
think
succeedingproperty.com. You may have seen me on YouTube. Anyone a subscriber on YouTube? If you haven't got your hands up, make sure you smash
please
that
sit
like
down.
button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon and all of that. I'm also a property developer, mainly commercial to residential conversions, buy-to-let landlord as well, and part of this lovely show, Property Elevator. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you, Ranjan. Of course, you had to get that in. Like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Okay, next up we have the beautiful Helen Chorley.
Hello, lovely to see everybody here. So, if you've seen the show, you know I'm a private investor. I invest with developers in other people's deals, basically. I don't do any of that hard work myself. I'm also a co-founder of Property Sisters UK. I can see a number of you in the audience, so great to have some female representation here as well. And yeah, thank you for being here. Really excited to do this live, to watch my language. But yeah, very excited to do this.
Can I borrow a few sheets of paper out of your book?
Last but certainly not least, we have Mr. John Howard.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the most experienced property developer on the stage. And because of that, anybody who I want to invest in should really just say yes to me and not worry about Ranjan, who's got a little bit less experience, the young and very good-looking Australian, because he's both those things, and the beautiful Helen, who is tough on numbers. Numbers. So that's me, really. Ranjan.
Thank you.
The banter has started. Now you see what goes on behind the screens. Oh, look, I'm getting excited.
Thank you, John. As always, very entertainment with you. Okay, so shall we get our first pitch to the stage?
Yeah.
Are you
Please do.
ready?
We're ready.
Great. Okay. Well, first up we have Chris. Please can you put your hands together and you're all welcome to Chris.
Have we got...
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today, Chris. Please can you just tell the audience a little bit about yourself firstly and where you come from today?
Sure, so my name's Chris. I'm from the schools out of Reading. I'm here today to pitch for my development of a pair of bungalows.
Can you step
Yeah,
forward?
on a piece of
Okay, so I'll fix that for you in 1 second. We need a different image up, guys. We've got the wrong one. Great start. Okay, but we do have investment packs. That's the most important thing. If you'd like to just do our angels or investment packs to start off.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And just
Thank
so
you,
the
thank
audience
you.
know, like literally this is kind of the amount of prep, how far in advance we see these packs. We get them when we film the program, literally 5 minutes in advance. So this is us like, the contestants are in at the deep end, we are too, believe me.
Amazing. Okay, so Chris, if you'd like to just stand here for us, make sure you keep the mic really close to your mouth
Chris, thank you very much for coming today. Whereabouts is this property?
So it's in a small town called Hinckley. It's
Where?
in Leicestershire.
Leicestershire. I know Hinckley. Do you know why I know Hinckley? Yeah, because I bought a horse box there. That's how I know Hinckley. So, okay. Solitaire are based there. They make horse boxes. Yeah. Is it in a good area of Hinckley?
It is, yes. There's got a lot of development going on. Again, it's a bit later on in the pack, but I explained some of the developments going on in the area. We've got the biggest TPD hub in the UK, within 1.2 miles. We've got the second biggest TPD hub within 3 miles. We've got a big Amazon store in place. Triumph is just down the road.
Okay.
So there's a lot of development going on in the area. In the town.
And how much experience have you got?
So I've done 4 prior deals. One of them's ongoing now. Outlined in the book, just the figures, etc. And my previous deals have all been buying refurbished refinance deals. I've looked to get as much money back out of the deal as I can. This is my first time entering into the more development space. But it's been a progression of
Well, Chris, thank you very much for bringing that today. Who would like to start?
I'll start. Straight in with the numbers there.
Straight in the numbers. Good luck.
With the easy questions. I might be in the pack, I've not seen it, but what kind of time frame are we looking at on this? Because obviously the return is going to be different depending on what your time scale is.
We've got on the timeline, we're due to get planning approved, hopefully in December, so it's applied for on the 15th of September. I currently own the land, just so that's clear, and the company of which it would be invested in would buy the land off themselves,
Yeah.
and then we develop it outright. So I hope to get planning approved by the end of this year. Now, starting the build in the start of the year, especially considering the source of play, which you can see in there, it has got factored in 50,000 for piling.
Yeah.
But if we really that to try and start the build in January, February time, so we look to start that in March. Going on hopefully a 9-month build with a further 3 months to sell. There are a couple of exit strategies. The one with the housing development would be quicker than that. We wouldn't need the 3 months at the end.
Okay, and second question, the total that you've got here of 400k is excluding any funding costs. Have you got an approximation for what those would be?
No, so the 400,000 doesn't include funding costs. I have been very safe with the figures, but no, that's not included in there. In the investment proposals, there's 2 options. One of them is a pure debt model where I give a fixed return of £35,000 on a £120,000.
This is we fund it and we share the profit with you 50-50.
For sure.
Yeah, you're not going to
So
get...
the second option is an equity share. In that, I have not included the funds. In that, it would be expected that you'd inject the money in full as per the current plan. So no, that doesn't include any financing costs.
Okay, cool. And have you got any contingency? Oh yes, you have there.
I have got a reasonable contingency.
Good.
With the build costs as well. We really estimate it to be about 130 to 140 a square foot. I have factored in 150 a square foot and put more than 10% contingency in there, which I think is quite safe.
Thank you.
Cheers.
You think it's quite safe?
I do.
Is my money going to be safe?
Yes. So on there as well, I have got a project manager. So I have managed projects myself on the bio-refurbished refinement side.
Yeah.
However, this is, I can admit it, a bit out of my depth, a bit bigger than I've done before. So I would want an experienced project manager on that. I have factored in £35,000. There is a big development that's happened next door for 7 houses. And I'm actually buying the ransom strip off them at the minute, which is also factored into the cost. But my figures are based on talking to him, and we're working that out between us. But yeah, 35,000 I've got in there for project management, alongside me overseeing that.
Thank you.
Has this ransom strip been secured yet?
So it was actually supposed to be secured today, yesterday. The lawyer, for whatever reason, haven't got back. We've agreed a price. He's actually selling to a housing development, which is going through next week. So he needs to sell me this ransom strip before then. It's all been agreed. So he's on a really tight timeline to get this done. So he's very motivated to do it. It's just the solicitors doing their thing, but I've not actually secured it yet, no.
Okay.
Sure.
So, 500,000 sale price.
Yes.
Confident in that?
I am confident in that. The comparables I've given, both of which are smaller. Yeah, neither of which are anything like the new build one is in the two comparables, but that's a one bed. It's much smaller, and it's not got 2 floors. I think my GDV prices are actually being very conservative. I wouldn't be surprised if we did actually surpass the 550 mark. Really, 560, 570 wouldn't be unattainable even in today's market. Never mind in a year's time, with what happens then.
And it's 2 houses, right?
Yes, so the erection of 2 bungalows on the plot, yes. That's what the current planning is in for. Now, we are reasonably confident we'll get that. However, if that isn't approved, and obviously this will have to be renegotiated, but my architect said there'll be absolutely no problem getting at least 1 big 4-bed on the house, on the plot. But yeah, we're trying for the 2 bungalows firstly. See where that gets us.
Just out of interest, it surprises me that you're not confident as project manager the building of 2 houses when you have built a couple of houses before.
So I've not actually built houses before. They've been I've brought and renovated, but we're talking. I will want the quantity surveyor and stuff in there, and I will oversee it. However, I think for your security as well, having an experienced project manager on the team, along with the quantity surveyors and whatnot, will really kind of secure the investment, I guess, and make it a lot safer as far as you're concerned.
And you've got 2 proposals here. So one is one of us buying the land from you,
Yep.
a bit cheeky. You already own the land, so why did it be bought? And then funding the 300 grand build cost also. So,
Yep.
so 420 total contribution.
Yep.
And for that, a 50-50 split.
Yes.
However, if we were to finance the build costs,
Yep.
you wouldn't give the 50-50 split. Again, very cheeky.
So with the investment, I am open to the idea of using development finance with that. We would want to renegotiate the purchase price though, if we're doing that to equal the from the financing cost. But I am open to. Sure. So if we were using development finance, I would be open to that, which means the return on capital invested for you would be a lot higher. Doing it that way though, I would want to up the purchase price slightly to secure my margin and profit. I want to secure that margin for myself.
So you would want us to wear that cost?
No, because if you invest in less money, the return on capital is still very high. If let's say we up the price to 150, and you injected that 150, and then we split the profit.
That would be us wearing the 30 grand cost.
Yeah.
Essentially, yes, but in terms of return on the money, if we did it that way and the purchase price was 150, the return on capital would still be, at the lower end, it'd still be 50,000, which is 33%. At the higher end would be 40-50%.
Can I go?
Go for it.
Thank you. So let's cut to the chase here because
Sure.
time is money and all the rest of it. So are you going to get 1 house or 2 houses? Because I'm confused.
So we've put in planning for 2 bungalows.
Right. And what are you going to sell those bungalows for?
So very, very conservatively,
Yeah.
250 each, so 500 total.
Okay.
That is
And if it's 1 house?
very conservative. If it's 1 house, we would look to build a larger 4-bedroom house. We'd look to sell that for around 375.
You, sir, are brave as a lion. Because you bought a piece of land for 120.
So I've actually bought the in the property you'll see there.
Yep.
I've bought the bungalow at the top of the property.
Right.
So I've actually bought that to personally live in.
Ah!
And this comes with the land.
The
and
devil is in the details, ladies and gentlemen. The devil is in the details. So, you own a bungalow, yeah?
which has the land. Yes.
We're subsidising you to the point of
You're funding me
Yes,
making my dream house.
exactly.
Yeah.
the dream house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right,
This is a great deal for somebody. I think it's a great deal for Chris.
so just to explain,
Yes.
you bought the site, which includes
Yes.
a bungalow, which you're going to live in yourself,
Yes.
and very cleverly,
Yep.
you're
Thank you.
going to get potentially 2 more bungalows in the grounds.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, now I can understand it. Okay, And you're even more clever than that because you think we're going to fund your lifestyle for the next 2 years.
Get a great return on it.
Amazing. Right, okay, now I understand it. So you've done a great deal, congratulations.
Thank you.
A deal we'd all be proud of.
Now,
But we really want to have the first bite of the cherry, not the afters, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get us to do the wash up and do the drying. And ultimately, it's one or the other. And I see this deal as you've taken the best slice out, and then you said, I tell you what, those mugs at the property elevator, well,
No.
some of us,
John, to be
not all,
fair,
the
are
return on
you're asking
capital
us
is
to
fair.
do the rump end of the deal, if you like.
I think the return on the money is actually very, very fair considering. I think the return on the gross domestic gross domestic value is still there as well. It's at least 25%, if not more.
It's max 25%.
You see,
Helen,
I'm not too
If it's
bothered
at 500 selling, it would be 25%. If
I'm
we're
telling
at
you,
550,
yeah, but
it
your
would be-
cost
would
saying
be more than
400 and telling you it's maximum 25%.
I'm not too
Come back
bothered
and
about
renew
how
on
much
money,
you
yeah.
have made by buying the bungalow. All I'm looking at is the proposition of this deal. Now, one thing that concerns me is this is basically a backland development in a garden. So have you had pre-app or anything like that?
I've not
what
had a pre-app.
likelihood are you going to get planning?
with the properties. So it's a series of 4 properties along this road. I think I included a photo on it on one of the pages. But there's a series of 4 projects. The first house was knocked down, and they've made 2 on that land. They've made 2 old people's care homes, self-contained care homes on it. The second house is being renovated. The third house, which is mine, and then the 4th house, which they've actually made 7 bungalows in the back of their land, but they did have a longer land. So I'm actually accessing the site from their drive they've created for this, and I'm paying the ransom strip to be able to access that small bit of land.
Okay, Helen does my figures for me because I didn't get my maths O level. In fact, I didn't even take it. So, Helen, what about the figures on this? You're the brains.
I think you've got a max return on GDV of 25%. I mean, there's no funding costs factored in right now. I think your contingency of 10% I think is okay in a standard market, but as we know, timber prices alone are up 40% this year and going one way. I think what you've got in your favour is, you know, that we've got an inflationary
Can we
environment.
turn up Helen's mic?
Wait, that needs to go further up.
Okay, how's that? Better? We've got an inflationary environment, so you've got that's very supportive of house prices, but it's not a no-brainer deal. It's an okay deal. It's a great deal for you. I'm not sure it's a great deal for us, if I'm entirely
Exactly
honest.
what I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
But you know, you hit on something that I was having an offline conversation with earlier. You've got to keep asking questions. You ask a question, and exactly what you said, the devil is in the detail. You've got to keep asking those questions, because more and more and more detail comes out. And
Wiggles out.
that's
Chris
where your risks
eventually
are.
came clean, didn't he?
Yeah.
In the nicest possible way.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so guys, I think we need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Paul, what do you think?
Just to reiterate my initial comment, I think cheeky is a good word for you.
Yeah. We like cheeky though. We
You don't ask, you don't
Nothing
get.
wrong with cheeky though,
No.
if you pull it off. Look, I think in a JV deal that I've been looking for, you want at least that 25% on GDP.
Yep.
But I think at the very least, you also want the person you're JVing with to project manage the site for you,
Yeah.
if not cover some of the costs as well.
I think I've been on that and on the project management. I think I've been I have priced it in quite high. I don't actually think it will cost that much. Like the end values, I've been very conservative with all my figures. I
Chris,
think we could probably get that to more
If
20,
I
25.
do the deal with you, and there's a possibility I might,
Yep.
we don't need to spend 35,000 on somebody to QS it. I can assure you. We can sort
I would
that.
want quantity
And
surveyors,
we can
but
save.
yeah,
we can save 35 grand.
if
but
project managing,
Paul
I'd be open
can't
to
save 35 grand, but I can. So, Paul.
Yeah, look, I think your proposals are a little bit one-sided. So I would do it with you, but I would be development financing it, or I would finance it whatever way I choose to do, and it would need to be at the 120 purchase price.
Yeah, because you're in Australia all the time. That's going to work, isn't it?
It is in my back garden, quite literally, so I will be very hands-on anyway.
Yeah.
I thought the project management, as much for me, I'm prepared to take stuff on like that. I actually thought for you, you'd see it much more secure of an investment with an experienced property manager in there. That was as much for
I understand.
secure an investment as it was.
So is that
me
an offer,
actually needing
Paul?
it.
Have you made an offer? Yeah. Because I'm not sure.
50 split.
So the offer is 50-50 split, no increase in price, but you're also asking for no project management and for me to do all that myself. Okay, thank you.
Ranjan, suppose you've got a nosebleed as it's further up than the Watford Gap.
Well, he said it was Leicester. I thought it was Leicester Square, so I did
Yeah,
get excited at first. But yes, it's a little bit outside the M25. I don't think this one's for me, to be honest with you. I'm not sure whether the
What a surprise.
GDVs, I'm not sure whether the margins are quite in it for the type of deal that I do. I'm also a little bit worried about your build cost estimates, but I think it's a great pack that you put together, by the way.
Thank you.
Good pack.
And it's great for asking and bringing it to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers, Ranjab.
Yeah,
Helen.
not for me for very similar reasons. There's not the return that I would be looking for personally. It's not a no-brainer deal. And you know, you made a comment about, you know, it's really good return for you. With greatest respect, you don't know what we see on a day-to-day basis.
For sure. Yeah, no, I understand.
You know, we look at things like this. We'll look at, probably each of us will look at 10 of these a day.
Yeah.
And some of them will be way under and some of them will be way over. So we don't look at your deal. I know you're presenting your deal in isolation. We don't look
I'm a
at
bit
these
biased,
deals in
maybe.
isolation. So we are looking, I personally am looking at relative value the whole time. So a deal can look like a good deal, and this is, you know, if you two do it, it will be a good deal. But I'm always looking at relative value. What is going to give me the lowest risk and what's going to give me the highest reward? Can I get that in one deal? That's how I make my decisions.
Is that a no, Helen?
That's a no.
Right.
A long no.
Okay, now, Chris, you and I could become good friends. And the reason we could become good friends is that I'm going to offer you a deal.
Brilliant.
And my deal is different to Paul's.
Okay.
I'm going to say, let's put the deal in at £75,000. Yep.
The
So
purchase
the land,
price.
we put it in at 75,000.
The-
So we buy it off you jointly in our new JV company. We buy it for 75,000, not 120.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fund the whole project. Yeah.
Not through financing.
Yeah. Through
Personally.
financing,
Through
because it's
financing.
all about property developing. It's all about leverage.
Yeah,
It's all
I
about
understand.
leverage. It's not about using your own cash all the time, although we do that as well. So it's about leverage. So you put it in at 75,000.
Yeah.
You believe in the project. I will believe in the project at 75,000. I don't believe in it at 120. We don't need to have. I've got my own building surveyors. I don't need to employ anyone to oversee the project for you. They'll hold your hand all the way through the project for free. So 35,000 that goes. Yep, as well.
Yeah, there is a reason I need to secure the 120. It is
What's
for.
that?
So the bungalow is currently really run down, the one at the top.
Well, I'm
I
so
need to-
sorry to hear that, Chris, but that's
I
not
know.
my problem.
Okay,
It's
understood.
not my problem. Your family issues or my family issues. If you want to come, I've got a house that's damp all the time and cold. If you want to come and fix it, I'll be delighted. But he won't do that any more than I'll come and fix your bungalow. So let's not worry about that. £75,000 to purchase it in a JV company. I'll fund it all. We split the profits 50-50. That's my offer to you.
Thank you. Just because of what else, I understand, yeah, it's not your problem, but because of what I need to do with that money, because the turnaround is going to be so long and I don't want to wait that long to move in, the 70,000 isn't really an option for me. Is there any way you can come to a deal at the purchase price of 120, or is
No.
that just not make sense?
No, because at the end of the day, it stacks up at 75,000. I don't believe it stacks up at 120 particularly. Your build costs may be a bit light. They might not be. It's Leicestershire. It's not Leicester Square as Ranjan thought. So to be fair, you know, your costs might be, your build costs might be about right, but they're going up all the time. It's very, very difficult. But that's a firm offer. We can get on with it straight away, or you can go with good-looking Paul. The choice is yours.
Paul, your deal's much closer in the right direction, not quite where I need to be at.
That's the best I'm giving you.
Would you meet me somewhere in between on the purchase price?
I think I'll be more than fair.
I think it's been, I think it's
So
been
we're
more than
talking
fair.
the financing and just just so I can get my head around it, I mean, I've explored my financing options, but from your point of view, obviously, obviously, I'm just trying to figure out what that is as to where the profits are going to lie.
I'm here in the office, so definitely.
No, I mean the financing. What would you expect the financing to cost?
It's got 2 offers actually. He's just rejected yours. 2 offers.
What do you expect the financing to cost?
Look, it will cost what it costs. We'll have to explore it, but
6% probably.
yeah, something like that. It might maybe slightly more, but because it's it's a small 2 houses in Leicestershire. But
Do you know what, Chris? If you're too difficult, you won't. If you're too difficult with investors and joint venture partners, you're never going to deal with anyone.
Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to understand.
You understand what I'm saying?
Understand
Because
the margins, yeah.
ultimately, you've got to work together all the way through. You've got to like each other, and you're very likable, and you've got to work together. If you start becoming difficult, then
I understand.
difficult-ish. I don't mean negotiate. That's different. But if you nitpick too much, joint ventures never work.
For what it's
Never.
worth, Chris, I think you've had a fantastic couple
Yeah.
of offers here today. Because what Helen and I have said is it doesn't work at
Yeah.
the figures that you've presented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What these guys, and we all believe that, it doesn't work at the figures you presented.
For sure.
But what these guys have come and done and said, it does work
We'll
at
help
this
you.
level.
Yeah.
So
With
that's
the
something
financing.
that you should listen to.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be willing to take your offer.
Fantastic. Well done. Well done, Chris. Well
Well
done.
done.
Well done.
Nice to meet you.
Well done, good tip. Good tip.
Amazing, Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, I tell you what, he
Well
got a
done.
bit of a grilling, didn't he? You're right there, John.
That
Yeah,
was,
I'm a bit gutted
interest.
he didn't go with me. All that
Did
experience.
you just lose?
40 years, I hate losing.
I think perhaps he was worried about the personality of the JV partner and how that relationship would transpire.
Well, congratulations, Paul. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you very
We've
much,
got a
Lizzie.
deal there. Well done. Okay, so next up, please can you put your hands together and give a very warm welcome to Omar Mehmet. Hello, Omar. Thank
Hi.
you for joining us today.
Nice to be here. Cheers. Thank you.
Good, lovely to have you. Okay, so please, just for our audience, could you give us a little brief introduction of who you are, where you've come from today, and what you're asking from our angels?
Yeah, sure. I'm Omar. My background is a mortgage broker. Come from Sevenoaks, and I'm here to look for funding for a small-scale property development that I'm already in the process of purchasing.
Wonderful. If you'd like to give your pack send to our angels.
Thank you, Omar. You might need to speak up a bit.
I'm sure I will. Thank you. Wow, that's pretty professional, isn't it?
Thank you.
Look at that for a pack.
Oh, well, a lot of figures to go through.
All right,
Right,
best of
Joe.
luck, Omar. And John, be nice, hey?
I'm always nice. Omar, thank you so much for coming today. And to be on stage is always, it's not easy for any of us. And especially when you've got Ranjan and people here as well. So tell us a bit about this deal. Or tell
Yeah.
us more about it. Yeah.
I had planned to present a commercial to Resi deal today, because I know Ranjan likes that sort of stuff. But I got gazumped right at the last minute. So this is my fallback.
Yeah.
I still think it's a pretty good deal. So this is a semi-detached house, 1930s build. It's in Sidcup in Kent.
Right.
I've acquired the property off-market. It was unmortgageable due to the EPC rating for investment purposes.
E rating, was it?
It was an F-rated
F?
EPC.
Christ, that is, even I haven't got F rating property.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pretty sharp around acquiring a property. My background is in auction trading, so I buy and sell at auction quite often. So I thought that this would be a good opportunity to actually develop this particular property. It's on a corner plot, and the semi-detached house is 75 square meters. I thought there'd be something on the screen to show you there.
It's on screen. I don't know why it isn't.
But there's actually a garage to the side of the house, which is larger than the house itself. So the garage is about 40 square meters on the ground floor, and in terms of its footprint. So prior to purchasing it, in the stage of acquisition, I had some meetings with my planning consultant, architect, and we had some very strong feedback that there is precedent for another residential dwelling there.
Right.
Where the property is about 2 doors up, there is actually a terrace of 3 houses where someone's actually done exactly what I'm looking to do. It's a high value area, semi-detached houses in that area that are done to a fairly good standard. 3 bedrooms are worth between 500 to 600,000 as a ballpark figure. So planning application has been submitted. I have purchased this semi-detached house. I've already completed on it. And I am now in the process of renovating the semi-detached house that is already there to sell that house onto the open market. And then I'm going to title split the land where the development opportunity is. Planning should be granted in December, where if all goes to plan, I will have acquired the land for free. So there's no profit in the house. The house is being sold just to break even. The land should hopefully be acquired for free. The build cost on the land, it's a 3-bedroom semi-detached house with a GIA of 90 square meters. And I believe that the build cost will be 175,000, which is just under £2,000 per square metre, and 25,000 for seal and professionals and utilities. So total cost about 200,000. That's excluding financing costs, and I have put a 7.5% contingency in for the build.
Yeah.
So the NGDV of that house in new build condition, I should hope to get it registered for Help to Buy for the saleability, should be about 550,000.
Can I just stop you there? You won't get Help to Buy on it because it's 1 unit, you need a minimum of 5.
Okay, good to know. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
No problem. So, who would like to start? Ladies first?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm blown away by the level of detail.
You love that, don't you?
Right.
You love
Seriously,
detail.
look, I got 3 pages of numbers here. Like,
Yes, you're in
that's,
element.
that's
I'm a
what we
mortgage
want to
broker,
see.
so
Like,
that's my
seriously,
thing.
that's gold star stuff. That's brilliant.
That is the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Okay,
So that's the
that's
house
the one.
as it is at the moment.
Right.
That's the one.
As you can see, the garage is wider than the current house. But there is a CGI that I've had prepared to show what the dwelling will look like as well. So show that at some point. Yeah, that's the CGI there.
Very good. Okay.
So normally I would just flip this straight into the auction and try and make a quick 50, 60,000.
Yeah.
But I'm looking to try and get the funding to build this out.
Okay, good for you. And by the way, congratulations, you look sharp. You've got a tie on. Even Ranjan's bought a tie today. That's because I threatened to bring a tie for him and he didn't want to wear one of mine. So,
So you've got the option 1 and option 2. Option 1, obviously the numbers look good. You've got profit on GDV of 31%, profit on cost of 44%. Like you're looking at,
You want to put the...
you're looking at nicer, a much more nicer margin. But option 2 is much less attractive. What do you really think the prospects of option 1 are?
Yeah. To be honest with you, Helen, I don't really particularly want to go for option 2.
Yeah.
So where I trade at auction, one of the most important things for me is velocity.
Yes.
It's how quickly I can get a deal done. So when you look at option 1, the profits are very healthy
Yeah.
and potentially could come out with a £300,000 pre-tax profit.
Yeah.
Option 2 is a big time suck for a smaller profit.
Yeah.
So there is the ability to sell the land at auction on its own for a reasonable amount of money with a failed planning application and perhaps a revised planning application submitted for somebody else to take on that hope value of getting planning on this site.
Yeah.
So I've put, realistically there's option 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But option 1, I'm very confident. The planning consultant, we've even gone to, if you have a look in the pack, we've gone to the level of arranging a parking stress survey.
Yes.
Bexley Council want 2 parking spaces per dwelling. We're only able to provide 1 per dwelling. So we've had a parking stress survey done, and he's shown me various case studies which have had planning granted where this particular parking survey has had worse results than the one that we're showing. So it shows there's 30% spaces available in the local streets, which should, that's the only stumbling block to get over. But the other thing I may just add as well, the funding that I'm looking for is on the basis that planning is granted.
Okay.
I'm not asking you to drop 200 grand into my bank account without the funding
good.
being granted. I'm looking to build a relationship with one of
Yeah,
you, so
right,
I'm
okay.
trying to present
So just to
an attractive
clarify
deal.
Yeah.
that element of the deal then. So you've secured the site
Yes,
and subject to planning being granted, you're looking for £200,000 of funding
correct,
to help fund the build out.
correct,
And that's to do option 1.
yes,
Okay. And that is assuming that the main building is just going to be sold as is.
correct, yeah. So I'm going to put a wall in between the garage and the house. I've got a dropped curb application in with highways for the house to the left-hand side. There's currently a drop curb on this corner. I should have that hopefully back in a month or so.
Will that be on the open market through an estate agent?
Yeah,
or,
absolutely, yeah. It'll go via an estate agent.
I mean, I'm just wondering how desirable that property will be,
Yeah.
because it will be next to a building site.
Absolutely. I mean, that is something I've considered. My fallback position would be I could refinance this property and hold it in my portfolio. I don't particularly want to do that because I'll be leaving a big chunk of money in there,
Okay.
Which I could use for future
So-
options.
Is the proposition you're presenting us basically the land to the side and
Correct.
not the main house?
Correct,
So
yeah.
you're dealing with the main house.
Yeah, exactly.
Understood.
Yeah. So this house at the moment is in the process of being renovated already.
That's what it's going to look like.
Yeah. So
Amazing.
the house should be done before the planning application's granted. We've stripped it. It's in the process of being rewired. We've done a 3-metre rear extension under permitted development. Party walls all done. It's you know, the plan was to not let the site sit there for 6 months while we're waiting for planning.
No, I understand that, but sometimes, in my experience, I've been too quick on things, and actually I've regretted them by being so quick that actually it's gone against me. And I think here could be the same problem, in as much that, you know, are you better to get planning on the side and then sell it at auction again with a house that needs refurbishing and a new build as well on the side, because actually it's very attractive. A lot of investors, a lot of builders, it's incredibly attractive. And what you're trying to do, which I understand, is the optimum. And the optimum is to refurbish the house, sell it now, but who the hell's going to buy the house when they know next door is going to be a building site for a year, 2 years? If you've got a really messy builder, you know, you could be 5 years messing around with some lunatic doesn't know what they're doing. So that's the problem. You're caught, I think, between the two. And in my experience, you're best to take a little bit less money and just trade it back out again and not have the, because I just don't think anyone's going to give you full value for the house, even refurbished, while you've got the house next door to do.
Yeah.
You know, that's my personal opinion. But
Okay, I understand. Yeah.
that's-
When I acquired the property, so the purchase price is 425,000.
Yeah.
I had valuations from 3 local agents at 525 on day one of even starting works. I've also had automated valuations from Home Track in excess of 500,000.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the home track and all this other stuff. You know what? You make your own decisions. You get the agents advise you. They're normally, like we say, every day's a sunny day. They're always 5% more than they should be because they want your business. You're the captain of the ship. You make that decision with what you think that should be. Is it 5% less than what they've said? It certainly normally is, in my view. Home track, I'm not interested in home track. That's some quango-y thing on the internet.
Couple of questions.
Yeah.
So has this option 1 changed? Because it says renovate and single-story extension. Is that the existing place, or is?
Yeah, that is what I'm doing at the moment. I've already started that work.
Okay.
Yeah, so
But that's not part of the proposal you're making to us.
look, I'm open to options. Okay, so I mean, I'm here with complete flexibility. I want to work with
listen,
one of
we
you,
love- and we
one
love
of you
that
guys.
because if a deal's got flexibility, if his deal's got more than one option, you know, that's good, isn't it, guys?
Yeah.
We like it. We all
So
like it.
my thought process on flipping the first house on was purely to get funding back in. There is a bridging loan on the house at the moment, so
Oh,
I've
good.
put in
I'm
100.
glad you told me that. You know why you shouldn't have told me that?
Why?
And you're
Because it
renovating
makes you
that
more
as well.
vulnerable to a deal. That's why you shouldn't have told
I'm
me
not that vulnerable, John.
Well,
Okay.
if you're on a bridge, when you're on a bridge, you're relatively vulnerable.
I use bridging in the best sense, so
And I can see that you have a construction company.
I do.
Proposal for you to build this
Correct.
house.
So my dad's a builder for 30 years. I own a construction company that my dad and the team work for
Great.
together. So.
Right, well done. Okay. Ranjan's been very quiet, which normally means he's
up for
warming up for a
something.
bid or an offer.
Yeah,
normally.
he's up to something.
So I'm open to options. If it's attractive for someone to come in just on the land, if it's attractive for someone to come in on the whole thing, then I'm open
Great.
for offers.
Thank you, Omar. What do you reckon? Everyone's gone very quiet. Should I go first? It looks like I'm going to go first. Otherwise we'll be here all day. Nice that they can make a decision, isn't it? So, okay, Omar. 1, I like you very much. 2, you're looking sharp. 3, I love the fact that you trade at auction because that's my passion, as you know. Hopefully you've read my book
I have.
on auctions. Very good. Thank you. Good answer. So, that's £9.95 I've earned off him so far. Okay, so this is just the sort of deal I love because there's options. Options, options, options. So, for me, the best option I can do is to buy it off you now in a JV company with you. So, give you your money back, basically. Get the planning, so take the risk on the planning, because if I don't take the risk, there'll be no profit in it. So I need to take the risk. Take the risk on the planning, and then we have an option of doing them both up together, or selling them both together. You've got to sell them both together, or you've got to do them both together, in my view, at auction. So we either do them up and sell them, and what do we think the GDV is if we do them both up?
The GDV of the total will be, it depends if you put loft conversions on. I've done it without loft conversions.
Oh, loft conversions.
I can do loft
PV
conversion.
rights at the back,
I
at
could
the
do lofts
side.
very
It's so complicated these days, isn't it?
We did 4 lofts last year very quickly. They're easy for us to do. They're not
But
particularly
there is
difficult.
only a certain maximum price you can
Yeah,
get for a
I
seller
agree.
in Sidcup. And the problem is, it's like a car. If you buy a car and you overload it with extras, guess what happens when you come to sell it? All those extras, you get nothing for them. So
I agree, yeah.
You've got to
So
remember that.
the answer to the question is it's $550 each house, and that's for 2 3-bed semis without the lofts.
Right.
And they've got the little single-story 3-metre rear extension on
Okay.
them, which gives a nice open-plan kitchen
I
dining
agree.
area.
Okay. And what did you pay for it?
$425 and 25 grand in stamp and legals, so I'm in at $450.
Yeah. Okay. And what are we spending on it? Quickly.
The new build's going to be 200 grand is
Yeah.
everything, and the
Yeah.
existing house I've budgeted for
50?
66,
60, yeah. Okay.
which
So
is a bit. It's got
700
six grand
and for
contingency.
1.1. Now, okay, I'm going to make you an offer, and my offer is this: we'll buy it off you together, so you get out your bridging and everything else for 450, which gets you your money back. Okay, you're in for a bit of pain on the interest, but that's life.
Yep.
We'll buy it together at 450 in a JV company. We'll wait till we get planning. You then have the option. I don't mind which you do. We have build them out. You can do the work. Happy loft, PD to you, whatever you want to do. I don't really care. And we sell them for 1.1 million. We move on to next deal together. That's my offer.
Thank you very much.
Ranjan.
Paul?
Look, I'd be more than happy to do the same.
Oh, isn't it typical? Yeah, unbelievable.
Or I'd also be happy to share it with another agent, but John doesn't share.
I don't share.
You know what?
One of these two might, though.
That's up to them, but I don't.
I'd be happy to do the same. I'd be happy to do the same either by myself, or I might be willing to throw my hat in with Paul, if he'll have me.
I'll have you run, John.
Thank you.
Ellen?
I'll be happy to share with Paul.
Not a bad position to be in, is it?
And if you've seen the TV program, you know that I'm the person that makes the least offers. So for me to even go there is a real
Thank you very much.
rarity.
Before you make that decision, can I just say a few things, if I may?
Absolutely, yeah.
It's very easy for you and me to work together because we're connected by auctions. We believe in auctions, we trade in auctions, yeah, and going forward, we can do a lot of other things in auctions together. This lot, I've never bought, well, Ranjan's bought the odd one at auction.
I bought loads at auctions,
But he
mate.
did- he
You know,
did-
I mean, look, you know,
please, he didn't own Auction House UK for 12 years and grew it as big as we grew it. So, with all due respect, he can say he buys the odd at auction, but he does, to be fair to him. But this is an opportunity for you and me to work together going forward. It's easy to work with one person. It's harder to work with 2 or 3 people, especially when they've got big egos.
Oh, no, it's
so
not.
I'll just leave it at that.
Before you make your decision, done tons of auctions. John's got 40 years experience, of course. I've got 30 years experience. But then, you know, what's the value of experience in the 80s anyway? I mean, you know, it's only the last 20 that really matters.
Unbelievable.
So we've got plenty of that going.
Unbelievable.
Happy to do it on my own or with my good friend Paul here. And obviously, you know, you're here to raise your profile. This is a fantastic project. We'll vlog it on our YouTube channel. Get you plenty of exposure. Like, comment, subscribe.
Well, I think
it would be lovely to work.
I think I've made my decision.
And with, well, just one last thought. With me and Paul, you get 2 angels for the price of 1. I mean, if that's not BMV, I don't know what is.
Helen, are you willing to work with me on your own?
What? That wasn't the
There is a
deal.
thought process behind that. But just
Say more about that.
okay. So my thought process is, I'd love to work with you, John.
That's it.
No, that's not the answer.
Oh.
But
Do we
I
all
feel
clap?
that
Well done, John.
without blowing my own trumpet, I don't feel like I need a lot of hand-holding on this particular deal. Ranjan, if this was commercial to Resi, I'd love to have worked with you on this type of scheme. But I'm looking to build a relationship with an investor that might start to back some of my deals.
Do you know I've got a joint venture fund?
I've seen that. And if Helen's willing to do the deal with me at 100%, I'd like to work with you on your own.
Here's my concern about doing it just on my own, and it's not about you and it's not about the project. It's more so how I approach investments, and maybe I'm slightly different to the other angels here. I look at my investments I'm my own asset manager. I look at them on a portfolio basis. So I have some very simple first charge, lower return stuff. I have some second charge, so kind of mezz type stuff. Obviously higher return, higher risk. I've got some equity. Let's not even go there on what's happening with those ones. And actually, at the moment for me, I've got some. I'm going through some pretty challenging planning stuff at the moment.
Yeah,
so
I really feel sorry for you. Yeah,
it's a hard life. So I've got exposure on that stuff at the moment. And granted, I feel more confident about this, but it's still in my mind. It still falls into that higher risk planning exposure. So do I want the exposure of, you know, I know it's 100 grand versus 200 grand. Do I want all that exposure? I'm not sure that I do.
No, we need to make your mind up because we're here, we're finished. So you've got some fantastic offers, to be fair, from some really great people.
I think, you know, John makes a great point about being able to work with him on a long-term basis, on an ongoing basis, and I think that applies times 2
Yeah.
in working with me and Helen.
I do.
Because
Yeah.
then you have 2 options.
And me.
To keep working with people on an ongoing basis.
I do bang on about commercial to residential conversion
you
and all
really?
of that. But I do a lot of the other stuff as well, you know. But that's what people know me for. But I've got a lot of that going on in the background. And
Okay, Ranjan, we've got to cut it short.
yeah, I know.
No guts, no glory. Who are you going to pick, or do you going to pick no one?
Yeah, I'm going to stand my ground. I'd like to work with Helen on her own, and if she can't do it, then I'll have a little think about it, if that's okay.
You have a what?
Yeah. I'll have a little think about it. I'm not going to accept one of the other offers today.
It's here or now, or it's not at all.
Then
So
not
you're
at all.
sure?
Thank you
Not
so
at all.
much.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank you very much.
Wow.
Thank you very much. Well done. Well done.
Well done.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Thank you,
Rejected.
Emma. That was a
Even
great,
on a joint
great
pitch.
Ouch.
Well,
I'm
that
not
was
used to being
exciting.
told that.
Hey?
Ouch comes to mind.
Weren't expecting that at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we have our third and final pitch of the day. Please, can you all put your hands together for the lovely Jackie Bardsley?
Hi everyone.
Just Jackie, welcome. Just pop this really close to your mouth just so that everyone can hear you really clearly.
Hi, good afternoon.
Could we just have Jackie's mic on? Just keep it really close to your mouth. So can you just tell us a little bit about your deal, who you are and where you've come from today, please?
Hi, Angels. My name's Jackie Bardsley. I reside in Brighton. I live in Brighton, right near the universities. I bought my first property at 19. I've done a few developments over the years. I ended up in Jersey, so I actually had the qualifications as well to buy in Jersey. I did have a house there, but that's another story.
Don't worry, no problem.
Today I'm here to pitch the property that I already reside in, to re-renovate it. I'm a super host on Airbnb and booking, and I've got a lot of personal bookings as well. At the moment I have a pizza delivery business which is based at Falmer, right next to Brighton and Hove Football Stadium, which has evolved around me. I believe
Jackie, I'm just going to stop you there 1 second. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm going to leave you to pitch. If you could just give your packs first to our angels. Don't worry, do you need a hand with anything?
That's all right.
Okay. It's all right. Take your time.
That's
It's
absolutely
fine.
fine. Shall I pass them
Absolutely
across?
fine.
No problem at all.
Absolutely fine. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Absolutely fine.
Thank you,
Don't
Angel.
worry about that.
Thank you. Got one. Yeah.
It's all about the deal at the end of the day. And I like Brighton. Okay, that's lovely.
Yeah, so we've got some pictures here. The slide's unfortunately not working, Angels. So if you could just pass them along just between you, just have a little glance at the pictures. We can leave them there with John. He can direct those. And if you just want to, pop everything here. Make sure you just keep the mic really close. And good luck.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck.
Sorry.
Breathe.
Thank you.
They're lovely. They won't bite you, I promise.
We won't. We
All
won't.
right.
Helen's going to be disappointed because I haven't known to do my figures, and you may need to help me, Helen, if that's possible.
All right.
Like,
Good luck.
thank
Good
you. Sorry.
Okay, so
That's okay.
Jackie, thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you.
As you know, you're based in Brighton.
Yes.
Just tell us about the property that you've got and what you want to do with it, please, just so we understand.
Yeah, I bought the property back in 2006.
Yeah.
Basically, when my daughter qualified for university at Sussex, and we were living in Jersey.
Yeah.
I owned a house there.
Yeah.
I knew that I've got a passion for property. I wanted to do it for all my life, and things just stood in the way.
Yeah.
So I released equity from the house in Jersey.
Yeah.
There's a bit more of a self-explanatory in the notes regarding the background.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
basically, I started off building up a portfolio. I knew when I was going to come to the UK, that was what I was going to do, was buy as many properties as I possibly could.
Yeah.
I transferred with the bank to get a mortgage to buy Beech Grove. I had to involve somebody I had in Jersey,
Yeah.
which is now the site problem as well. I've been trying to get them out of the deal because they've basically gone back on everything. I've basically run the house. A year after I bought this one, I then released equity and bought another one 2 up the road. I bought this area because I always get a bit of a gut instinct when I go to somewhere, and I always buy slightly out, so it's slightly where people would prefer to buy.
Yep.
So I bought in the dreaded Moulsecoomb, but to me, moving from Jersey, the property is...
Well, first of all, you're a textile, which is more than the rest of us are, so that's really good news. So tell us about this. So what do you want to do with this house at the moment? You own
What
it
I'd
at
like
the
to do with
moment.
the house at the moment
What do you want to do with it?
is, with my experience with Airbnb, and I want to, first of all, I do have plans for the
No,
attic
that's okay.
loft
Just tell us
conversion.
what you want to do.
Right. Convert the attic into a 1-bedroom ensuite.
Yeah,
Yep.
1 bed flat. Yeah.
Yep, yep. So the front of the house.
First floor.
First floor.
2 flats?
Yeah, no, it's not that big. Lose part of the room to obviously the stairs, create a big ensuite at the front. The back room will then have the bedroom. Downstairs, it's already been extended. So the downstairs big room could be converted into an ensuite for letting. The lounge is kept. It's a big through kitchen. Then to the back, I've got a cabin ready to go up, which will be another let.
A cafe, did you say?
Cabin.
Oh.
Cabin, yeah.
Right.
And then on the side elevation of the property, I do have a large garage, which I have taken a surveyor there recently.
Yep.
Somebody quite big in Brighton, and he did say that he believed that the planning would be agreed. They couldn't see any reason that we couldn't knock the garages down and put a 2-storey property there.
So
yeah.
Okay, so we're potentially,
Yep.
we're going to end up with 2 houses.
2 houses, yeah.
Okay, and what are they going to be worth each?
At the
when they're
moment,
refurbished?
at the moment, refurbished,
Yep.
I believe mine will be minimum 600 for the main property.
600,
Yeah, and a minimum 325 for the 2-storey.
Okay, and good, and
I would,
what are you offering us today? Are you offering
50-50 split.
Yeah.
I would like to keep this property. I live in it, but also it's a great base.
Yeah.
It's going to go up so high with the
so
area.
you want to keep one and sell one?
Possibly, that would be whatever we think would be the best thing.
You're the captain of the ship.
Okay, I mean, I'd like to keep, to be honest with you, I think they're just great investments and also a borrowing. I've got first dibs on another one that
Have you?
Yes, and also a potential property in Basingstoke that could be knocked down and developed into quite...
Okay.
I've got,
all right,
yeah.
well, let's stick with what we know so far.
Sorry.
No, not at all. You've done a great job of the pitch. Paul.
Yeah, okay, so the idea is to renovate the property you're currently living in.
Yes.
Convert the loft.
Yes.
Build a new house next to it.
Yes.
Yes.
And the little cabin.
Yeah,
So
the cabin.
The house will be bigger, there'll be a smaller new build next to it, and a smaller cabin next to it.
Yeah, and by adding the en-suites, because I know the area so well, my letting, we'll have more income from less occupancy, and also it will be obviously a very high spec property. I do have, I've looked recently at one that's just been developed around the corner. Not as good a property as mine, because I do believe I've got the best property in that area.
Doesn't everyone?
No,
Doesn't
no,
everyone?
seriously, John, I have.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Right, okay.
sorry. Just for the square meters.
Sorry, what's the exit? So if we
exactly
give you
it,
the
what's
money
the
to do
exit?
this, how do we get our money back?
I wanted to have a JVP. I really want to joint venture partnership.
Yeah.
It's like my passion, and I do know that I can.
Yes.
I'd be really
So
upset,
are
but
you?
not with this.
Okay.
That's what we're here for. We're here to
Yeah, I'd like a joint venture partnership because I do.
We need to clearly understand
Yes.
when and how we get our money back
Yeah.
at the end.
And this is a really interesting situation because sometimes it's difficult to be clear what you want.
Okay.
It's so important to be, really clear about what you want to do and sort of stick to that plan.
Okay. Yep.
So are you saying, which is fine, you've got yourself we put the money up to renovate and build next door.
Yeah.
And then you put a value on what's there now, and then we buy it at that value together in a joint venture company. Say it's 500,000, just say, or something, and then we put the money in to build the new home, and then we sell both, or we sell one and we refinance. You refinance the other one, take us out, and you retain it. Okay?
This is where I could actually maybe ask Helen for a little bit of
Oh yeah, ask Helen. Great.
Sorry,
That's
I'm
exactly
basing the return on the rentals on Beechgrove, basing it on 50% occupancy, base rate of letting the 4 en-suites at £300 a day.
Okay.
So it's £300 a day, only on basing it on half a year, it's 60,000.
Jackie, I'm in the wrong job if you can do that. Fantastic.
No,
I think.
Sorry.
Let me get this right. I think the question, and literally it's exactly what I wrote down, Paul.
Yeah.
It's how we get our capital back.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me, and maybe you can confirm or say otherwise, that you want to keep all of these. If you want to keep all of these, it's going to be a little bit more problematic. Okay, so you want a company where we both keep them.
Or I'm very up for negotiation. I'm sorry.
Okay. Because if we keep both of them, then that's a lot of capital tied up for a longer term.
Yeah, I'd be happy to sell the one that we build on the side.
Okay,
Yeah.
but what we need to establish is in selling anything that we sell, and we can't really sell the cabin, anything that we can sell that we could get at least our capital and the profit back. And I'm
Okay.
not clear that that's the case yet.
Yeah.
So what's really important with property developing is always keep your money moving. Always have money coming in all the time.
Yeah.
Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. And at the end of the day, if we stick it all into yours, that means other people who come on the show we can't invest in. So it's a balance. It's a real balance. So Ranjan, what are your thoughts?
So you're continuing to live there, yeah?
Well, at the moment, my original plan was to have a property in Jersey, about 3 or 4.
Yeah, she's a tax exile. She's not like you,
No,
Ranjan.
I'm
She can
not
move anywhere she
actually.
wants.
I'm sorry. And I do have a business as well. It's a little bit complicated, which I could potentially, I'd love to have some.
Don't complicate it anymore, Jackie.
No,
So you're not,
sorry.
you're not living there then? I mean, sorry, I'm just a bit
Yeah.
confused because I was under the impression that you're living there.
Well, what it means is I can base myself there, but I can let it off as a whole house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
I
got
see.
somewhere else to stay above my other business premises.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry, I was
So, no, it's not, that's absolutely fine. So just to be clear, you've got a property you want renovating, and we can get planning next door, and then you've got a £950 million GDV, and that's what we're doing. We're helping, we're putting the money in to redevelop both properties, or build one and to redevelop, and then we get our share out.
Or
and
I'd like to actually carry on finding properties, which
Yeah,
I know
go
I
for
can,
it. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
reinvest in that money. I don't want the money. I don't have the money in the bank. It just goes
No,
straight back into
no,
whatever.
I
Yeah.
totally understand.
If
Okay.
I could try to help a little bit with the packaging of this.
Yeah.
Looking at it, so to make it attractive to us, and correct me if I'm wrong,
Yeah.
but if the cash going in is about 260 grand, we're going to have to walk away at some point with about 500 grand to make that worthwhile.
Yeah.
You know, the return on the cash.
Yeah.
Now that could be funded in some way, but there or thereabouts, right? So it seems there's two options if this was to happen. You could sell the bigger house to fund that cash back. The little one doesn't cover it.
Yeah.
Or you remortgage the whole lot
Yeah.
Yep.
at about 60-70%, which gives you around 600 grand, and that's enough to exit the investor as well.
Yeah.
Does that sound? That seems to me to be the two options.
It's one or the other, really. It's one or the other, Jackie.
I was a little bit confused.
Okay, so what we're saying is we will put the money into build the new build for you,
Yeah.
okay, and refurbish existing property, okay,
Yes. Yeah.
but we need a return on our investment.
Yes.
So you own this property cash at the moment?
No.
Got a mortgage on it?
Yeah, that's.
That's in the pack.
Yeah. There's like 257 left on the mortgage, but the property's already sort of undervalued at about 420 to 490 on. I don't really look at Zoopla properly,
okay. No,
but I've kept the property. I've not really spent too much
Yeah.
more because I want to keep it lower value to get rid of to have the.
Yeah. And what are the chances of getting planning on the building next door? Is there the site next door?
I've taken a surveyor down. I don't know if
Yeah,
you know
you said,
Rob Bowden.
Don't
And
know.
there's a Chris Weatherstone that's quite a big development. Okay. He came and viewed it, and he said he definitely can't see any reason why
Why I can't get
there wouldn't
Okay.
be planning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jackie, I like this. So, Ranjan, what do you think?
I think it's a bit too complicated for me.
John, I know I do tend
To
to
be fair,
complicate
he
things,
only-
but realistically they are quite simple. Because in my
It's
To
not
be
really
fair,
my
Jackie,
bag, I'm not sure
To be
what's
fair,
about.
Jackie, he only does
Right.
simple. He only does simple deals. So don't worry about that.
Because after that, I wanted to flip and turn, you know.
He only does simple deals. So don't worry what Ranjan thinks. Right.
So for me, Jackie, I think I missed the mortgage. I did write it down, but I forgot about it when I was trying to do the packaging.
Yeah, sorry.
If you own this cash, it would work.
Yeah.
Based upon those two options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Given that you need to repay a mortgage of 260 grand, you take that off the remortgage option, you're left with 350. You take it off the sale option of the bigger house, you're left with 350. Therefore, it doesn't work because you wouldn't be able to have that 250 mortgage on the smaller house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that kind of kills the deal, unless I'm missing something.
Well, was
well
looking at the
explained.
income return from the rentals.
Yeah, we're not that
Maybe
interested in rental
yeah.
return from that's your bag, not
Yeah,
ours.
it's
Our
just I
bag
know
is
you do the service.
Yeah.
You do the apartments, don't you? The
Serviced accommodation.
yeah. I've just had a really bad
I
experience.
think most of us, I think we
beforehand
come
here,
back
yeah.
to what John said about we're actually all looking to make our money work the whole time. It has
Yeah.
to move.
Yeah.
We're
But I
not in
think
it
mine's
to,
more-
we're not
sorry.
in it to kind of keep hold of it. And
Yeah.
so I'm with Paul on this. These
Yeah.
numbers, as we understand them, they don't work for me at the moment.
Yeah, like, I
You've been
think I've
really
been-
brave, Colin. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Jackie, is that
Consider
just
doing
that
pensions.
just
Yeah.
still working? Hopefully, yeah. That just leaves me really. Jackie, I'm willing to help because unlike these people here, I can see that I can see the potential, and second, I can see a very nice lady, and if we can, and I know Brighton as well. Not at all. I know Brighton. I've got some blocks of flats there. So, in fact, we've got someone's viewing a development there for us today. So, what I think is best to do is you and I have a coffee down in Brighton. That's the first thing. But importantly, I think you need to keep the house you've got. Okay.
I agree.
I will I'll help you get planning on the plot. I will fund the plot, yeah, and I will share the profit with you 50-50 on the plot, and that will give you the money to then fund your main house. How does that sound?
I completely messed up today.
You didn't mess up at all.
Microphone.
Sorry, I've got
So
a lot more in that.
you haven't messed up at all, and I think I've given you a fair offer, and we can go away and talk about it later.
I think
But
that's better.
But I think that's the way forward for you, Jackie. So
I'd love to accept
Okay,
that, John.
super.
I know all you with Brighton. Ranjan, I have to thank you very much because
Really?
it was because of you that you kept my faith. Because even though I may have messed up a bit today, I do know that you've given me confidence that I'm not mad in all my theories. And I used to ping your YouTubes across to the people that I was trying to get investment from to say, look, I'm not wrong. However, I did actually find out about you, John, and I
Oh,
was
did
really
you? That's
hoping that
nice
you
of
was
you.
going to
Great,
be.
yeah.
Anyway, because of
You've
the
just
connection with
upset John
Brighton.
by complimenting my YouTube. Well done.
All right, so don't worry. All right. Okay. Well done.
Well done.
Huge congratulations
Well
to
done.
Jackie. Give her a
Well done,
massive round of
Jackie.
applause, please.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done.
Very nice to meet you.
You did really well. So brave. So brave.
Let's talk about
Well done. Well done.
the three people. Yeah, we can do it through now. No, you're all good. I'll see you later, Jackie. Later. So I think really, I mean, we've had three very different people today
Wow, yeah.
on, and wow, we had. What do you think? What do you think of the first one?
Quite a character.
Quite a character. And
Hey, I wish I'd had that much confidence.
eventually
at that
got
end.
what we want out of him. It took a little bit of time to actually, and actually, for me, he would have done better if he came out in the first place and said, look, I already own, I bought the bungalow, I've managed, because what he did was a very clever deal. He's done a
Yeah.
really good deal.
Yeah.
And he should be proud of that deal. And
Yeah.
instead of that, he tried to sort of, not hide it, because he's a nice man, he's sitting over there in the middle, we'll have a drink with him in a minute. But, I just felt that Chris was a little bit, if he'd just been a bit more open to start with, because we're going to find out all what goes on anyway. We're not idiots.
It's full disclosure. And
Full
it's
disclosure
exactly
is
what you said. It's
quicker would have
devil
been
is in the
better.
detail.
Devil's in the detail, and I think
Every
that.
time.
But a nice guy, and he's got a good deal there.
Good deal. Yeah,
A
good
good
deal.
deal.
We just wanted to be in it where he was in it.
Yeah, we wanted to
not
be in-
sloppy seconds.
Sloppy seconds. That's a little bit rude, Helen. Don't mind me saying. Bit brave there. So, Ranjan, what did you think of? I mean, nice guy. Too far away for you.
Too far. Well, it wasn't that. I think it's the. For me, it was the stage at which we're coming into the deal.
Yes.
Too late.
Too
Yes.
late.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's how I felt.
Want to
about
come
that.
in a little bit early and
Yeah.
take more educated punts, not risks,
Yeah.
but educated punts, be at
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
sort of
Exactly.
stage in the game.
Yeah.
Reduce
I-
risk.
One of the things I liked about it is he lives on the site, so he can't walk away from it.
True.
He can't walk away, and the fact that
True.
he was willing to You know, 35 grand. I mean, I don't like surveyors at the best of times. There's certainly not too many in here, although we employed two very good ones. But actually, to spend 35 grand on that was way over the odds, especially if you live on site yourself. You know.
No, but that's a very good point. I mean, I
It's a
always
really
say
good
a
point.
good place to start investing is in your own backyard.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you can't get
Literally.
closer than
Literally
that.
in your own back garden. And very credible, very investable, nice man. And actually, if he just came with a little bit less, you know, if he explained it better to start with, and also came wanting a little bit less, I think we would have all jumped at that. I mean, I made him an offer.
Yeah. It's a really good point, though. It's a really good point that Paul says, though. Like, I'm always looking. I think we all are always looking to minimise risks. Well, it's minimising them by somebody living, breathing, eating, everything else on site, right?
Well,
Good point. About skin in the game. You know,
Yeah.
You want someone to be investing something so they can't walk away. Well, it's in his backyard. So.
We called it garden in England, don't mind me saying. We're
And
not
of course,
Australian.
on-site security is covered, isn't it?
On-site, everything's
You don't
covered,
have to
okay.
have a column for that.
Let's move on to Omar. Now, Omar is a very interesting character, I thought, and I like the cut of his jib in more ways than one.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I thought he was very smart.
Well, he wore a tie. You like
Wore a
that?
tie, which always impresses me because it's business.
If anybody's thinking about applying for series, what are we on? Series 4. It's going to be done next year. We've got the dates already, I think, actually.
March. We're
Like,
filming in March.
that is how you do an investor pack. That and those numbers, seriously.
And a tie if you're a
No,
guy.
to get money out of me. Everybody's asking, how do I get money out of Helen? No one can get money out of Helen. That's how you get money out of Helen.
Yeah, it was a great pack. Although he didn't get money out of Helen.
Well, not yet, but I
It
think
was
there's
close.
more,
It was close.
more conversations to have offline, I think.
That was the problem.
Okay, so with Omar, I mean, he's already got the deal. He's on bridging. I know he says he doesn't care about bridging. I care about bridging. I don't like bridging because it's too expensive.
He's a mortgage broker, though, as well. So
He didn't tell us that.
He did
Did
at the very
I
beginning.
should listen
Yeah.
more carefully. Okay. Even so, he doesn't get mates rates, does he, if he's a bridger? You know, I mean, I'm being funny. You don't. I wouldn't have thought so. Right. So, good area. I like Sidcup. Good area.
Yeah. Great.
Worth
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
And he got a good deal. You know, he's managed to get a really good deal, which helps loads. So from that point of view, he's on it, wasn't he? He was on it. He was sharp. He was professional. And that's the way, like you said, Helen. From your point of view, he came on stage. He was confident. He was smart. He had all the figures, and I thought it was very, very good.
And you liked the way he thinks because he thinks like you
Yeah,
with the
I
trading.
like the way he thought, and I think Ranjan did, and Paul
He's a very
as well.
credible entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You can see
Very
that. It's
investable.
outstanding.
Credible.
The other thing is,
Investable.
when you're doing a building project right now with certain uncertainties about building costs and all of that, it's good to have that building experience, which he's got within his
Within the
corporate
family,
as it were.
Yeah.
Within the
So that was
family.
very impressive. I was gutted to be rejected, quite frankly.
You were
but,
gutted.
you know,
I
we
there you
all
go.
were. We
There you
all
go.
were, actually.
I honestly
weren't we?
thought I was in there. I
So
thought,
did I.
we connected. We both love auctions. I'm staggered he didn't go with me. I can't understand why anybody wouldn't go with me, but especially Omar. I mean, it was crazy. Why didn't he do the deal?
We're going to have to drown our sorrows
It shows
over
two
a beer
things.
later.
It shows confidence or it
Yeah.
shows arrogance. Which one is it?
Yeah,
I
or
think
perhaps he felt that he didn't need the partner.
I think that was more it.
That's it. When somebody walks away, they can back themselves, and actually that makes it even more attractive to me to invest in, because he's going to do that deal. Well, he's in
Yeah.
already, isn't he? He's going to do that deal anyway.
Okay.
He doesn't need us.
Well, quite frankly,
Great.
I mean, you know, you are when you're doing this sort of stuff, you're looking to back backable entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Well, we always say, don't we? We back the person as much as the
Exactly,
deal. And I
exactly.
think that's a very
And we
valid
all saw
point.
that
Yeah.
in him.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
You
Yeah.
know, so he
And to be
probably
fair-
has the ability to
And
back
to be
himself
fair, we
on
saw
this
that in
deal.
Chris as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris just overcooked it. You know, and you can overcook. It's like any deal. You can overcook it, and then you know it just
You
doesn't
can
taste the
overcook
same.
it, or you can
know?
half bake it. I mean,
Yeah,
both
yeah,
now.
whichever. And then we've got the lovely Jackie from Brighton. I've got a soft spot for Brighton, and actually for Jackie now as well. unfortunately, she came on stage. She wasn't really clear enough what she really wanted to start with, and that was a shame because actually what she's got is actually quite a good. She can get planning on the house next door, which is great, and actually, nothing wrong with the deal she brought to us. I thought was relatively good.
There is, there's potential in the deal, like you say, with your guidance.
I can certainly help her.
Yeah, just need some guidance.
What do you think, Paul? What's your view?
Yeah, I think you saw the wood for the trees, right? You saw the actual deal that perhaps we didn't see, and that was maybe perhaps because there wasn't a proposal actually there. I packaged something that didn't work, which didn't do anyone any favours.
No.
Or it kind of did, I suppose. But you saw something that could work.
No, I agree with that. You
sometimes
unpicked it.
you can overcomplicate deals, and sometimes keeping it simple is far better than over elaborating and making it more tricky to fund and
to
more
be
complicated.
to be very fair to you, John, I mean, when I saw that deal, I didn't fully understand it. I didn't fully understand the proposition. I didn't fully understand how I'd participate in the deal.
Yeah.
And I kind of stepped away, but you took it and said, right, how do I make this into a deal?
Yeah.
And that was fantastic.
Thank you. And sometimes you have to, sometimes you can make a deal work. That's a good example of where you've got two or three elements to a deal. You can keep that one, sell that one, and do that one. You can make it a better deal by trading part of it off maybe and doing something like that. And that was a very simple example of where you can do that. And like I said, I think you were turned off by Brighton, really, weren't you, Ranjan? It's too far. That brand new Porsche 911 you've got, he doesn't want to do too many miles in it, ladies and gentlemen. That's half the problem. He's gutted if the value goes down. But look, we've had a great morning, haven't we?
Yeah,
We've really enjoyed it, all of us.
Super.
Have you enjoyed it? Has it been interesting? Great. Super. Thank you very much indeed.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much to our angels. I think we're going to wrap it up now. That's everything for today. Please do remember to give us all a follow on social media. As Ranjan says, like and subscribe. We've got Mr. Paul Mahoney, Ranjan Bhattacharya, Helen Chorley and John Howard for today's live Property Elevator panel. Thank you so much.
Don't go anywhere, everyone. I've got a seminar in here right now. Stay seated.
Yeah, do not move because Paul's on next.